Oh, shaking in my boots right now. So shaking in my boots because I couldn't believe what just took place. And I told you, anything can happen in this league. And I'm telling you right now, from top to bottom, well, you guys can take a look right now. From the top to bottom, as you can see, we have pretty much a rat race. So technically speaking, even those people that are at the bottom still are mathematically in the competition. Yes, you are still mathematically in it where you can still make the top four playoff. It's going to take a lot of scenarios to take place, but obviously they can make it. And then you look at where it was at from last week. Obviously, I was sitting at number 3 last week. Now I'm booted down to number 4. David Hayes wasn't even in the picture. Now he's at number 3. So just that quick, things have changed. And things are starting to position themselves as we get ready for this playoff push. And speaking of that, while we're talking about getting shook up and things that took place, your boy, the G-Men, took a handful of buys this past week, which led to some losses. But, you know, David Hayes came through in the clutch like he said he was going to do. He was determined to come back and win. And he had 115 points to my 85. The Pittsburgh defense obviously took care of business with 23 points with a touchdown, an interception, a fumble recovery, and 9 points allowed. In comparisons to Derek Carr for the Prince Hall G-Men with 21 points, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception, but it just wasn't enough. Even though Derek Carr and his Raiders took care of business out in Mexico, just wasn't enough for him to pull the G-Men to a victory, and they ended up losing, which is why they now have the 4th place position in the playoff run. And then we go over here to the Headbusters, obviously, who's still swinging on momentum as well. Their defense, once again, 20 points. It was a defensive outcome. 20 points for his defense. They had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and 19 points allowed. Versus Team Shelley, who obviously I was there working that game. Doug Baldwin, who took care of business with 14 points, 4 receptions, receiving yards, and he passed for a touchdown against the Philadelphia Eagles, but it just wasn't enough as they fell short 72-57. But like I said, she's still mathematically in it. Then we go to Tyreek, keeping it 100, who finally kept it over something, over 80. He had 86 points. Aaron Rodgers had 29 points for him, 351 yards, and 3 touchdowns over Team Rowe, who had 80 points. Andrew Luck, who had 18 points, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception, and a concussion, which obviously led him to be out. So, therefore, it allowed me to make some substitutions for this week, and hopefully I can still be in the mix based upon the substitutions that I made. And so far, you know, it's yet to be determined on what could happen with Andrew Luck being out. Then we go over to, here's another shocker that was silently not really talked about, but it was silently noticeable. And that was Mimi and Tacoma beating who? None other than Quick Six, defending champion Quick Six, 63-53 in one of the lowest scoring games ever, and possibly the lowest scoring output from Quick Six in the whole league. Joe Flacco with 14 points for Quick Six, 269 yards in a tub, which just wasn't enough as we have a Russell Wilson sighting. Yes, Russell in the building, 22 points, 272 yards, 2 total touchdowns and a TD. He received the TD and he threw for one, so that was actually great. And so for him to go out there and do what he did, it's great to hear Russell Wilson in the mix. And then we have Team Williams. Team Williams over Team Littlejohn. 101 to 59. It was a blowout. David Johnson with 27 points, 103 yards, 2 total touchdowns, and a TD rushing touchdown for himself. Team Littlejohn, Des Bryant, a guy that he's been needing throughout the season, who he's just now getting back, gave him 20 points, 6 receptions for 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough. But yet, still, Littlejohn is still in the hunt, and he can bump me at any given time. Then we have, of course, Team Knight. Team Knight, who came through in the clutch with 129 over 61 over the Black Cheetahs. And I tell you right now, the Black Cheetahs, who definitely is still in the mix, they could have used a little bit of help against Team Knight. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. Robert Kelly, I don't see nothing wrong, is what they call him, against Green Bay, had 31 points, 137 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the Washington Redskins. And then for the Black Cheetahs, it was Marcus Mariota, 21 points, 290 yards with 2 touchdowns. But it just wasn't enough. And so as you can see, as we are positioned right now heading into this week, which started yesterday, obviously, we had a little bit of a letdown, and we had some things that took place because of it being Thanksgiving, so it kind of delayed a little bit for me putting out this video. But obviously we're on a good pace. The games that have started yesterday are on a good rotation as we lead into Sunday. But I tell you right now, it's been one crazy, crucial chain of events. I'm talking about, if you want to be in the mix, once again, if you're trying to get into the mix, you're trying to get with the team that obviously you're trying to get into that top 4. It's still anybody's ball game, but you guys got to really narrow it down and come with it. And I also want to give you this. The app that I've been telling you about for the longest, that's, you should have been able to download already. And if not, then I'll post it again right now so you guys can see. FireFan, it's here. And I'm telling you right now, this is one of the most absolute fun games, live interacting games to play. Right now they're in beta testing right now, so they're letting us play it early in the game to get the kinks out, so they can draw some feedback, see what they like. Obviously, the technicians are working in real time, fixing the problems that may occur that people are suggesting, and that can improve to make it, the best app ever, which it already is, because it's already trending right now on the iTunes, in the App Store. So already, this game is already trending, and I'm talking about when I played it last night. I'm talking about, man, I was having so much fun. I was watching the game, and in real time, they were coming up with these scenarios, and they were, asking you, okay, is this drive going to end in a touchdown, or is it going to end in a punt, a turnover? Is it going to end over on downs? Is the running back going to be able to complete, 3 or 4 passing plays? Is the running back going to rush over 30 yards during the drive? There's all type of scenarios that they ask you, and in real time, believe it or not, even during the commercial break, you're spending your time to get into, answer these questions. So before the next drive commences, you'll be already locked up and ready to go. And you're going up against, unlimited people. You can go up to hundreds of thousands of different people in this little league room, wherever you're at. Now, the league that I created, obviously, is called the World Class League. So you want to jump into that, get into that, and have fun with it. And trust me, this is a game app that you won't be disappointed that you downloaded for free. And for those of you that pre-registered, that I sent this link to you, you're already set up. So just download it, and there you go. You're already set to go. So I'm telling you right now, this is the most fun time right now as we get ready to play, head into the playoffs and things of that nature. Now they have Major League Soccer as well as, of course, the NFL, but they're also going to be rolling out basketball. So basketball is going to be in effect next. And trust me, this app is everything that I said that it was going to be and then some. And you don't want to miss out. So download it now. Get up on it. If you got any questions, just ask. Don't be a Steve Williams and just text all over Facebook like I want to spend all this time texting when you can just pick up a phone and call, right? So just hit me up and I'll give you every answer. I'll direct you to where you need to be to enjoy this app and have fun. And once again, line up your guys, line up your team. It's going to be on and cracking. And I'll see you next week.